Folks, today's message, I pull no punches. If you don't like a straight message, I suggest you get up and leave now. If you're going to go to sleep, well, you're probably lost cause anyway. But, to be bluntly honest with you folks, I'm just giving you a personal opinion. I'm tired of hearing week in and week out smooth messages. You know, we're told that we need to hear the pointed testimony, the present truth. And woe unto the pastor, she says, who scatter the flock. And friends, we're a responsibility and accountability. Not only pastors, not only ministers, not only preachers, but even myself, or Brother Petchy, Brother Ted, anybody that gets up here and preaches a word. We need to preach the message as it is required for the times that we're living in. Yes, there is precious truths in all of God's word. The times we're living in, friends, we need to hear the plain, straight testimony, the plain truth. So like I said, friends, if you're looking for a short message, you're not going to get it today. You know, maybe 30 minutes. I know that's maybe a long time for a lot of people. But as I said, if you go to sleep, you're probably lost cause anyway. And I'm talking about myself today, friends. You know, this message is not for you, this is for myself. You know, at times I feel I'm worthy to be up here. But God has called today to present the word, and it's a privilege and an honour. And today's sermon is just basically entitled, Lost in Church. Amen. Now that's a pretty straightforward sermon in itself. You know, we can come to church and think we're on the highway to heaven, and sadly the fact is that we do not have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. If we are not thoroughly convicted and converted, it's just all talk. You know, if you're going to walk the talk, you know, you do what the Bible says, not out of fear, but out of love. And friends, it's been a while since I've been up the front with us, no excuse. It's been 59 years in this church, in this message, so I should know something about what the Bible says. But more importantly, friends, for someone who's been in the church for that long, it's more important that we walk the talk. You know, people go around, if we go around making an example of ourselves, you know, and we don't do what the Bible says, you know, people look at me and say, well, there's nothing to that truth. You know, it means nothing. So friends, as ministers, as preachers, as dads, as elders of the church, you know, we have a responsibility when we step up here. And I'm reminded of, in the days of the Israelites, wandering in the wilderness. Of course, you had the tabernacle and all the various rituals and different compartments. And when you go into the Most Holy, the selected people who were asked to go into the Most Holy to represent the people of God at the time. And if they had anything that was unrepented of, they did not come out there alive. And friends, I believe that the same application applies today when we step into the pulpit. It's nothing to be taken lightly. So friends, basically our message this morning comes from our scripture reading this morning, Matthew 7, verse 21 and onwards. The fact is, friends, that we've come to a time where there are more people on earth than ever before. Last I heard it was about 7 billion. We're probably approaching 8 billion now. And that means, friends, if that's the case, there are also more churches. And if there are more churches, there are more church members. And of course, to accommodate those church members, there has to be more preachers. And yet, in fact, friends, that there is much more wickedness than ever before. Friends, I believe we've come to a dangerous time. Not only a time of great crime, but a time of moral madness, where people are doing almost anything conceivable and receiving the hospitality of the pulpit inside there. You know, friends, moral madness is connected to that word as immorality. We know that licentiousness, as she says, is the sin of this age. And friends, in the media, we've had men and women who stood up and spoke out. And more recently, Israel Folau. We cannot disagree with what he says. But friends, if we're going to stand for the truth, we need to be as wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And there's also Margaret Court, great tennis player, who's been discriminated against because of her stance on same-sex marriage. Friends, on that line, I just would like to elaborate a bit more, because this is one thing that really gets under my skin. You know, we have so-called intelligent men and women within our government service. And if they know their history, there's only one result that can come from the legalisation of same-sex marriage. And we take the Bible out of this altogether. Just take the Bible out of this for a second, okay? And just go on history alone. Rome, the greatest and most powerful nation on the earth at this time. Historians tell us that great nation fell. Why? Because men dressed up as women, and they dyed their hair, and they became weak. And that nation fell. They became homosexuals. And friends, that's the same that's going to happen, I believe, to this country or any other country that is going down the same path of legalising same-sex marriage. And friends, it really gets under my skin, because I see evidence of this within our society. The devil is cunning. He knows where the weaknesses lay. He knows how to get the attention of people, because he knows his time is short. And friends, I see within our society today, not only within, but also within the church, you have reverse roles. Men who are no longer men. Women who are no longer a God-fearing woman, I would say God-fearing men as well. Reverse roles. Men doing what women are doing. Women are doing what men. I'm not a chauvinist, beloved, don't get me wrong. But women have their place in society and within the church and within the family home. And the same with me. And when I look at what's taking the place in the world today within the area of sports, you know what Ellen White says, that, you know, you think about, like she's talking back in the last days about women wearing long pants, etc., etc. I'm not being a radical, friends, there is an application. And you can see the application behind what she's saying, because it can affect something else within that individual's life, within the home, within the community. And it really gets to me. You know, when I watch sport on TV, I love my sport like any male does. But I do not agree with women playing rugby or league or kidding out there with a cricket bat, and when they're commentating, they sound like a man. It's masculinity in a sport display coming from a female. Now, I know feminism is on the rise. Friends, I see the same sort of attitude within our church. There is a division there. Pastor Doug Batchelor gives a great example, a great message on women's ordination, on women pastors. And friends, I can see why there is so much contention and so much division, because God-fearing women have their place within society, within the home, and within the church, and so does a man. But today, friends, sadly, my personal opinion is, where are the men? Men are starting to become like women, women are starting to become like men. And there's only one result, and the country will go down. And the church will look like it's about to fall, but it will not. Amen. So friends, this morning, especially men, and myself, I'm talking to myself today, friends. I ain't perfect. I ain't perfect. Far from it. I have my scars. But men need to be men, and take their place and role within the family, and within the church, and within the society, especially the government service. There's only one result that can happen if we do not. And we need to be a witness to the world. We stand plainly by thus saith the word of God. And friends, like I said, more churches, more church members, more religious people, and yet more wickedness than ever before. Friends, I want to say this morning, it's not enough to join the church. There is no salvation in having your name on the church roll. It doesn't matter which church it is, friends, even if it's this church. The important question is in the words of that wonderful song that we sing sometimes, is my name written there? Meaning, does God look at me and regard me as his faithful child, as his faithful servant, as his faithful witness? Meaning, am I born again? Am I converted? Or am I just a normal Christian, meaning one in name only? Now, fair enough, friends, the question is also asked, why is there so much wickedness, and at the same time there are so many religious groups, so much preaching, and so much television ministry? We all agree with that, don't we? We see so much of it. Matthew chapter 7, verse 21, we've had our scripture reading this morning, and the Bible plainly states, says, not everyone who saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven. Now, friends, that's clear, isn't it? Jesus didn't sugarcoat the truth. He told people straight. Friends, you ain't anybody's friend when you sugarcoat and compromise. And Jesus didn't do that. He says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven. But what? He that does the will of my Father, which is in heaven. And friends, the next verse, 22, if you've got your Bibles before you, says, many. How many?
Many.
Will say unto me that day, Lord, did we not prophesy in thy name? That's a preacher. And in your name cast out devils. That's a healer. And in your name do many wonderful works. Works of charity and philanthropy. Did we visit the sick and the aged? Did we not support Red Cross and ADRA? Did we not do this and that and the other in your name? And what does Jesus say? Then I'll profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye who work iniquity. Now, friends, I don't know about you, but that's serious talk, isn't it? You see, Christ was getting fed up with religion full of abstractions. And on this particular occasion, friends, he was talking to the church members. He was talking to the church leaders. He was talking to the religious leaders. He was speaking to those who took great pride in the fact that they belonged to the main church. He said, not enough to offer up a good sermon. Not enough to offer up a powerful prayer. Not enough to offer up a personal testimony. Not enough to go around telling people how much you love me, because if you love me, you do what? The Bible's clear, friends. Well, who's going with it? I'm emphasizing this point, friends. Those who do the will of my Father, which is in heaven. Friends, we know that we cannot work our way into the kingdom of heaven, amen? But if you have faith, works will naturally follow. If you do not work to work your way into heaven, as Mark Luther would have had to do. You know, Matthew 7, 13, 14 says, Jesus says, enter into what kind of gate?
Strait.
Strait gate. Now, in the King James Version, that word strait is spelled S-T-R-A-I-T. It's not the strait that we commonly refer to as S-T-R-I-G-H-T. You know, you've got Torres Strait and you've got Bass Strait, S-T-R-A-I-T. And that means that there's a difficult passage of water to cross before you get to the mainland from the top of Australia, Torres, to cross to Torres Strait, to the borders of Papua New Guinea. And then, of course, you've got Bass Strait. When they have that yacht race every year, there always seems to be some difficulty in crossing that strait to Tasmania. It means difficult. That's the strictness that the Word of God is talking about. Hard, austere. Jesus is saying that enter ye into the strait gate. Well, I'm going to use the word strict this morning, friends. So what does the word gate mean in referring to this text? You got straight, strict, you got gate. What's gate mean? Friends, we're told that when Jacob was fleeing from his brother Esau, he came to this place and in his exhaustion, he fell down and went to sleep. And throughout the night, we know the story, friends, throughout the night, God gave him the vision of the ladder. And when Jacob arose in the morning, he knew that God had been in that place. And the Bible says he took the stone used for a pillar and he made it into a crown and altar. So, friends, the gate represents the church of God, the house of God. So let me paraphrase what the Lord is saying here. Jesus is saying, enter ye at the strait gate, church. Yet, friends, sad fact is that many of us quarrel with God. We want easy religion. We want to join the church, but we want to join a church where we can keep on doing what we've always been doing. We want to join a church where we don't have to give up anything. We want to join a church where we don't have to make any sacrifices. We want to join a church where, people can practice their truth with the approbation of the pulpit. We want to join a church where the preacher will preach smooth things and will not preach to us a straight message from the Word of God. No, my friend, we don't want a church that is too straight. But what is Jesus saying here? Enter ye in at the straight, strict gate church. Why, Lord? Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way that leads to eternal life. But few be there that find it. And what's the other part of this text? But broad is the way and wide is the gate that leads to damnation, and many there that go in. Beloved, we shouldn't be surprised at what God is saying to us here. Amen?
Amen.
Do we regard God as some sort of casual character that, I'm just going to get down and be plain and simple. We regard God as some sort of character that they're making out to be in the movies, because there are movies made about God and Jesus, etc. And it's blasphemy, really, because most of the time it's not even true. Do we regard God as some sort of character that indulges in a glass of beer or alcohol or kava or whatever every now and then? Or a cigarette in the mouth or boogieing away on the dance floor? Friends, even the suggestion of it touches on the edges of blasphemy. Friends, sometimes I think that is the case. I was a young person once, and I'm not being harsh or critical or condemning of young people today, because I believe they are harder time now than when I was young back in the day. Temptation is paramount out there. And young people, if you do not have a close relationship with Jesus Christ, the devil works with you the most. Apart from God's ministers, I believe he works with young people the most. I work on a Saturday night in a place where there are a lot of young people. I believe that God has called me there for a specific purpose. I still bounce at the Grand Hotel at more points. And the sad thing is that I do see occasionally young Adventist couple, young Adventist men and boys, not boys and girls, but young men and women, youth, that attend that place. And it's interesting that the response I get, because they sort of turn their head and, I'm just here tonight to be the sober driver. They like to make all these excuses, but it's a sad sight, friends. But I do not condemn, I do not be critical, because that's part and parcel of a young person growing up. Because as mums and dads said, we've probably all done something similar. But young people, if you give your life to Jesus Christ wholeheartedly, he can use you in a mighty way. Because it's the young people that are going to go forth with this last day message, because you have the passion, you have the drive, you have the enthusiasm, and you have us elderly people behind you praying for you and supporting you. So don't waste it in something like this. Amen. Our God, believe it or not, friends, is so high and lifted up that even the smallest sin is an offense to him. He is a very personification, the ultimate in reflection and in purity, perfection and purity and holiness. Our God is so high and lifted up and exalted in his own estate that the angels whom he has made, who have never sinned, we are told, approached his throne and fall down and crying, Holy, holy, holy Lord God Almighty. Holy to the Father, holy to the Son, and holy to the Holy Ghost. And yet, friends, sometimes, these angels, they pale their faces in his presence, and yet we can run with the devil all week and even crawl away, hoping they will catch us, and yet we come to Sabbath and think nothing of it. Come into his presence, but sometimes with superb audacity, thinking nothing of it. Put a big offering in and think, that's good enough. Friends, I'm just being realistic. This is how it really is. Because this is the last church before Jesus comes. This is the Laodicean church. This is the lukewarm church. But God has his faithful remnant, few people within there. who follow the counsel of the true witness to the Laodicean church, faith, love, Christ, righteousness, and the Holy Spirit. But many of us do not heed the counsel because we do not realize that we are miserable, wretched, poor, and wrong. And the sad fact is that the statistics have it that, and I'm going back a few years now, it's probably even greater now, that 1 in 4 Adventists, anonymous survey, 1 in 4 Adventists spend even 5 minutes a day on bended knee before God's open word. Friends, that's the problem with the Laodicean church. And all you have left is goodness on the outside, like those white tombstones, but inside they're full of dead men's bones. Full of dead men's bones. The sad fact is, friends, that people want some kind of religion where they can do whatever they please and keep going to church. But Luke 6:46 says, why call me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Friends, you listen to these people talk. You know, I've been around a while, and you know, you do see who is real and who is not for real within the church. It's just an observation, a personal observation. You know where there is humility, you know where there is sincerity, and you know where there is self. You know, this is what the Bible is talking about. Why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things that I say? You go through the form of worship within the church. It's all about exalting oneself. You know, you listen to I'm going to get into it further on, but you listen to someone talk, they sound so good. You listen to them sing a song, they sound so good. The music doing a certain thing, the drums, the organ, the piano, it moves you. It's based on emotions, a charismatic style of worship. False revivals, he talks about in great controversy. It's creeping within our churches. I'm not talking about this church, but I know it happens in the bigger churches. It's creeping in. We need to be aware. You know, the sad fact is that Jesus can only give us the truth. But sometimes the truth is so sharp and so clear, it makes us squirm in our seats, but that's not what Jesus has. But the devil, he can take truth and error and mix it, make it sound that looks so good. That's deception, friends. He's a master of deception. That's like pouring poison in a glass of grape juice. You think you're drinking grape juice, but what you are really drinking is damnation, my friend. And friends, I just want to emphasize it throughout this message. The most popular religion today is a religion that requires no restraints, where you can do whatever you like, where you don't have to give up anything, whether it's right or wrong, and still remain a member in good and regular standing. The most popular religion is one of convenience. That's convenience for us. And sometimes that really gets under our skin. You know, because sometimes we can hardly wait for the sun to go down so we can do what we want to do. It's inconvenient to stay. The sun sets too early. You know, the sun sets too late, sorry. Most of us would like to have the sun set early so we can go and do what we want to. It's inconvenient. So, you know, people out there in the world today, I'm not just talking about the Adventist religion, Protestant churches. It's one of convenience, you know. People know about the Sabbath in other churches. Where I work, you're a Sabbath keeper. We know about your Saturday, Friday night, Sunday, Saturday night sunset. And we know it's the truth. We know it's biblical. You know, Ten Commandments. These people know it, friends. And yet for them, it's inconvenient because everything in the world happens on those hours, throughout those hours today. And they're not willing to commit. They're not willing to change. They're not willing to give their heart to Christ. So it's one of inconvenience for a start. It's one that accommodates one's weaknesses. Instead of preaching and living spiritual regeneration, they let everyone come and make them feel at home. There's nothing wrong with letting someone come to the church regardless of who they are or how they dress or whatever. We're all sinners. The church is a hospital for sinners, friends. But you need to draw the line. You know, there are certain things, there's certain protocol that the church has standards. And fair enough, when someone comes in, you nurse them. It's like a baby given milk. And as they become mature, they get into solid food. That is how it is within our church, friends. And friends, most popular religion is the one supposedly done in the name of Christ. Once again, friends, I say to you, you may think I'm overemphasizing this point, but let's see what Jesus says to us in Matthew, the Gospel book of Matthew 15, verse 8. Matthew chapter 15, verse 8. Straight to the point, these texts, friends. And it says, these people, that's you and I, friends, honour me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. They honour me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. And like I said, friends, you know, you listen to them talk, they sound so good. You listen to them sing, they sound so good. You listen to them give a testimony, they sound so good. The music, etc., friends, sounds so good. But what is Jesus saying here? They honour me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Friends, this is the reality of the church today. Let's go further into the book of Ezekiel. I just want to bring this point out because it does happen. And I see it first-hand experience, friends. And I'm always aware of it, that one needs to be humble. One needs to give all the honour and glory to God. It's not about self, it's about praising God, giving Him all the honour and glory. Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 31. Ezekiel is a powerful book of the Bible, friends. It does not pull any punches, and I believe in ministers we should read this chapter more often. You know, maybe you get a decent message from the week from the pulpit. I'm not afraid to speak out, friends. I'm not Elijah, I'm not a John the Baptist, but you know, the church needs John the Baptist, a voice crying in the wilderness. But he and Elijah, Baal, serve Baal. If God be God, serve God. And friends, the same application applies today. Okay, we're going to the book of Ezekiel. Chapter 33, verse 31. It says, my people come to you as I usually do. Once again, that's you and I, friends. And they sit before you to listen to your words, but they do not put them into practice. With their mouths they express devotion, but their hearts are greedy for unjust gain. Self-exaltation. Indeed to them, this is interesting, indeed to them, you might be listening out the Bob, oh yeah, the message sounds good, but you know, it's just like one who sings love songs with a beautiful voice. You're impressed with the presentation, you're impressed with the words, you're impressed with whatever, however they do the message, with however a C.D. Brooks or a John Carter or a Doug Batchelor gets up there, it sounds so good. But it just goes in one ear out the other. All you are doing at what I'm saying, you are entertaining them. You're like an instrument. For they hear your words, but they do not put them into practice. And friends, this is the problem that exists not only within our church, but also within the charismatic style of worship. Once again, it's all based on emotion. We need to be very careful, friends. It's not about us. It's not about self. It's all about God. Being humble before Him and giving Him all the honour and all the glory. Self should be taken out of the equation, but because the flesh is what it is, it's natural for us to rise to that occasion and to be me. And it should be about Jesus Christ. Amen. And sooner or later you'll be seen for what you really are. You know, the Bible, the preacher, we're talking about a preacher back in this day here. God was talking to a preacher with a burning heart. You know, Brother Bob had a burning heart. God was talking to a Brother Bob who preached the truth. God was talking to a preacher, Brother Ted. The people like to hear. You know, maybe you like to hear Brother Ted, Brother Pesci, or any other one of the preachers here. It might have been that the preacher was so encouraged. You know, I might have been so encouraged that God had to tell Brother Ted, Brother Pesci, so forth, that most of those folks out there aren't going to do right. Let me emphasize a little bit more. It says, God said to the preacher, these people come to hear you like they come to hear somebody sing. All you're doing is entertaining them. You have a way they like. You're a little bit eloquent. Maybe you have phrases they like to hear. They don't come out here to get to know the Lord. They come here to look at you. They honour me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. They sit before you as my people, but they will not do what you tell them to do. Now, how discouraging is that for a preacher? Now, Jeremiah is a classic example of that, isn't he? That man preached his heart out for so long. And what was the conversion rate? Amen, brother. How discouraging is that? No doubt he was a powerful man of God. There have been powerful men and women of God down through the ages that preached the word. But sadly, from what we read, the majority, yeah, they love to listen. But they will not do what the word of God says. Because it just sounds so good. It feels so good. It looks good. Beloved, this is what the word of God is saying. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention this morning. In Matthew 7:21, Jesus is talking again. We know what Matthew 7:21 says. Beloved, it's one thing to talk. It's another thing to love. It's one thing to profess. It's another thing to live. It's another thing to obey. It's one thing to say a lot, but it's another thing to live a lot. You've got to walk the talk. You see where I'm coming from, friends, you know, lost in church. This all applies to warming the pew of the church week in and week out. To 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 to 5, we all know what that chapter talks about, don't we? Paul is talking about the 19 sins. He's talking about it in these last days. And he says these last days, these sins will make the very times dangerous. And now 19 degrading sins. And friends, homosexuality is implied in here, for he said, they will be without what? Natural affection. And friends, when you read this particular passage of Scripture, you think, oh yeah, it's talking about the heathen out there in the world today. But no, my friend, it's talking about those more so often than not within the church, practicing these 19 sins within the church. That would be out and happy. And Paul was given all those sins, he said, in the end. Verse 5 says, by saying that these people have a what? A form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. Beloved, there is power in godliness. Amen? You know, friends, when a man has a real experience, when a woman has a real experience with the Lord, he or she is not only has his or her sins forgiven, they stop sinning. Amen? Amen. They are not only forgiven for having committed adultery, they don't commit adultery anymore. I'm saying he's heard, but you know what I'm saying? It's generic. When a man or woman has a real experience with the Lord, when her conversion is genuine, when they really love Jesus, they are not only forgiven for drinking, they stop drinking. They're not only forgiven for smoking, they stop smoking. He's not only forgiven for cursing, they stop cursing. Friends, that's the power of godliness. Amen. And Paul said, these people practicing these 19 sins will sit up in church every week, trying to look respectable. But they don't have the power of God in their lives. Because they have not appropriated this power by faith, they go right back doing everything before they become converted. Before they even knew Jesus Christ. Before they even joined the church. And friends, I'm not talking about those people only. I'm talking about those like myself that have been in the church since day one. And friends, here it is. These people honour the Lord with their mouths, but their hearts are far from me. They're not doing my will, the Lord says. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven. But friends, those who are going to heaven are those who do the will of the Father which is in heaven. Friends, there is no strength in a religion that is without discipline. Life requires discipline. Everything you do, friends, in life requires discipline. You know, I remember Ellen White says in part of her Spirit of Prophecy, read it, find it for yourself. There's so much in there. That the real heroes are men and women who have self-control. self-control. And that doesn't come without having discipline. There is no strength in a religion that is without discipline. A religion without self-denial, a religion where you don't have to give up anything. There is no power in a religion that does not require a change in a person's life. Friends, if you can do everything that you always did, there's no point in joining the church. You're going to hell anyway. Simple as that. Friends, it's time for a difference to be seen in those who claim to serve God and those who don't claim to serve God. They ought to be as different as right is to left, as light is to darkness, as day and night. What kind of God do we think we serve? What kind of God do we think we serve, that we can go about and just follow the practices of the world and still serve Him? It doesn't make sense, friends. It doesn't work. We're only fooling ourselves. Friends, we need a concept of the holiness of God. Amen. And friends, once again, I'm talking about myself this morning. The concept of the purity of God. We need the concept of God's flawlessness, impeccable, perfect. God says He will give us power for a changed life. It will be so evident that it will be like a brand new birth. It will be like you were never born the first time. You were born the second time with a new heart, with a new mind, with new eyes, a new mouth, new hands, new feet. And friends, if you are in Christ, all things are supposed to be new. Means the places, friends, you don't used to go to, you don't go there anymore. Amen. You've got to find a new place to go to, young people. You've got to find a new way to enjoy life. You've got to find a new way to express yourself in recreation. You've got to find a new way to dress. You've got to find a new way to eat. You've got to find a new way in every aspect of your life. Amen. For you know, when you're born again, all things become new. Amen. Friends, a religion that does not require change, a religion that does not require discipline, a religion that does not require self-denial is a religion without love. And that kind of religion is a sham, and that kind of religion does nothing to witness to the power of God. Well, people look at me and look at you and they say, why, if religion is it's only done that for you, there's no point in me fooling around with it. A religion, friends, that does not change a man essentially in every aspect of his life, that kind of religion does more harm than good, and causes people to lose confidence in God and in the church. And even in good preachers who tell the truth, they throw us all in the same baskets and judge us all together. Sorrow, my friend, sorrow. We're getting to the close, friends. This is another one, friends. Materialism. We all know the story of Lot. Why? She loved the materialistic things of the world. No doubt she loved her children who were left behind. But her possessions. She looked back and what happened? We know the story. You know, we can manifest ourselves in self-righteousness. We come to church for the wrong reason. You know, we're told that the flesh, that you and I wants to come to church, as we do every Sabbath, and intrude itself into your natural, inborn inclination to worship. God has put that desire within us to worship. It depends on what we worship. You know, we're told that the devil knows that's in us, and we are made in God's image, and we're told by inspiration through sin, our divine likeness was marred and well nigh obliterated, but there are vestiges of God's image still within us. It calls us back through the conscience to worship, and the devil, understanding this, manipulates the flesh and wants to get involved and intrude himself into our religion, and the flesh becomes religious and goes to church. You know, friends, it's possible to know much Scripture and still be spiritually feeble. You know, it's possible to study your lesson every day of the week and come to church knowing more about it than anyone else in the class and be least in the sight of God. Did you know that? You know, you might be intelligent, you might have a good memory, you may be able to recite, sing, pray, and preach, but we're told it profiteth nothing. Like Pharisees, friends, we can become victims of Satan's crafty devices, inciting to a formal, legal religion of works, a form of godliness without power.
And friends, the sad fact is that people like that are never really happy in Jesus, never happy in the church, because it's all about self. They're always wanting to exalt self. It's not about Jesus, not about God, it's about me. That's the human nature, friends. It's a terrible trait to have. The second point is, friends, that talking about materialism. You know, when I was in Fiji, my wife's island, yeah. You know, I really envy the environment that those people live in. You know, it's untouched by commercialism. And just to think that that island is surrounded by a reef and you can only get in by fiber boat from a cargo ship. And then to be there and to experience the beauty. I know they see it every day. They may take it for granted. But for me, for someone who comes from the mainland where there is prosperity, where there is hustle and bustle and business and entertainment and just all the not so good things of life, I said, you folk have it all here. You folk have it all here. Paradise. Not real paradise, because we know where real paradise is, but I believe, friends, that they have paradise, that they are not affected by Western civilization. Sure, they may have the same desires of what we have back here, but at the end of the day, you know, I'd rather have what they have. Poorness, poverty, sure, it all exists in third world countries. And, you know, I come back here and I look at my own life and I think about everything I've acquired and I think about all the hoarding and all the ease and I see how people live within countries like that. You know, even just walking down the streets of Super or been around a bit, but sort of hit home again, walk down the streets of Super. So it was a great experience. I love that kind of experiences, walking down the narrow alleyways and seeing all what they have to offer in the form of shopping. But at the same time, for instance, you see poverty, you see poor people, you see people, you know, asking for money. You know, I take out the part where, you know, they don't really need it, they're going to spend it on drugs or alcohol or whatever. You know, I put that aside because, you know, they are God's children. And you never know, you know, of what, taking a few minutes just to give them the time of the day and maybe throwing them a few dollars or whatever. But, you know, the natural reaction is to, no, keep looking. You know, they only want money and they just waste it. But, you know, my heart's desire, personally, friends, is, you know, I wish I could go back there and be a millionaire and just, you know, give out the money freely. Because I have so much in comparison to what those folk have, you know, and, you know, I know it's easy for me to say, you know, everyone's an individual. We're all here for a certain cause because we have families, we want education, we want wealth, to be able to maybe send it back to your families, back to Fiji, etc., etc. But I'm of the opinion, if that's the case, you come here and you do that for the good of your family back home, that's great. But if you come here just to further yourself in being up with the Joneses, that's where I believe is wrong.
Amen.
When other people are suffering, especially the unkind people. You know, Ellen White says that millions and millions of people are going down to the grave every day at our expense. While we're hoarding houses, and cars, and lands, and bank accounts. That, my friend, is a sin. And covetousness is the number one sin that exists within God's people. So, friends, just bear that in mind. You know, when we were at school, I know you may remember this, elderly people. I was talking about myself and Brother Terry right here, and young people, you may learn this in your education, that you studied about the Protestant ethic. There was that primitive Protestant drive for salvation that caused them to endure persecution, hardship, fire and sword that caused them to get on their small boats. We know that, Pilgrim's Progress, and leave Europe wide to travel across uncharted seas, not seeking silver and gold, but seeking the privilege of worshipping God in freedom.
Amen.
Now, friends, the sad fact is this drive was called the Protestant ethic. But today, friends, that's not the same anymore. The ethic is perverted. The same drive in man is not for salvation, but for prosperity. The same drive that calls for pilgrims to cross the ocean and come and live in a wilderness that they might worship God, the same initiative, same drive and power is now turned towards getting a hold of things. And therefore God becomes less important in the lives of people today. The symbol of this ethic today, friends, is not the altar anymore, the church, the family altar. The symbol of this ethic today is houses, lands, bank accounts, things, friends. And some will even smother their conscience and do anything in order to acquire things because the flesh has perverted their conscience. Friends, at this stage, I'd just like to say there's nothing wrong with things. There's nothing wrong with a new home. There's nothing wrong with a new car. There's nothing wrong with new clothes. That's not the problem. It's that when we start making these the idols in our lives, that we want to acquire these things just to, doesn't matter what it takes, we want to get them because it makes us look good, or we want to keep up with the challenges. That's materialism, friends. And God becomes less and less important in that individual's life. He becomes second class. That's where the problem is. And friends, I'd just like to say that the Spirit of prophecy says, we're getting down to our people, we're getting to the end of time, friends, that we come to church every Sabbath, but the simple fact is that not all who keep the Sabbath will be saved. There are many, she says, even among those who teach the truth to others, could be talking about myself, will not receive the seal of God in their foreheads. They had the light of truth, Brother Bob, you had the light of truth, you knew your Master's will, you understood every point of your faith, but I did not have corresponding works, a form of godliness. By your lack of devotion and piety and failure to reach a higher religious standard, you make other people content with their positions as pastors. And not one of us should have one stain or spot upon it. It is left with us to remedy the defect of our character and to cleanse the soul temple of every defilement. Then the latter rain will fall upon us as the early rain fell upon the disciples on the day of Pentecost. Friends, the latter rain could be falling all around us and we had no idea about it. Friends, soon God's people shall be tested by fiery trials. Friends, have you experienced a fiery trial? Well, if you haven't, you might think, God, if what you're going through is pretty bad, but you know, that's nothing compared to what's going to take place very soon. The sad fact is, friends, dear sister, what it says, the great proportion, listen friends, the great proportion of those who now appear to be genuine and true will prove to be as base now. Weak. Under pressure they fall. Instead of being encouraged, friends, they cowardly go out from us and take the side of the opposers, and they become our most furious enemies. Friends, you read a statement like that and you should cry out, Lord, have mercy upon us. And you know what, friends? She says that even some, if they've got a proliferation of degrees behind their names, are going to fall. And friends, you know who's going to take their place? Who's going to take the place of the big shot? It's someone down there in the dark, governor in Suva, the governor of Brisbane. So they're going to reach down. And their faith and their humility, they're going to reach out. And God's going to lift them up.
Amen.
And they're going to take the place of great God.
Amen.
Beloved, it's a serious thought. Serious thought. The seal of God will never be placed upon the ambitious, worldly, loving man or woman. It will never be placed on the forehead of man or woman of false tongues or deceitful hearts. All who receive the seal of God must be without spot before God, candidates for heaven. As I said, friends, many a star admired for its brilliancy will then go out in darkness. So, friends, those who belong to the church and turn from the light, think they go to heaven? Lost. Even in my church, lost, because they will not walk in the light that God gives. Whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot. Now, friends, that's dogmatically clear. An unequivocating statement. So likewise, whosoever he be of you forsaketh not all, that he hath cannot be my disciple. Talking about giving up, friends. Talking about giving up a position. Maybe. Friends, most of us don't have to give up anything except evil habits. You don't give up smoking, what are you giving up? Foul breath, stained teeth, lung cancer. Got to give it up, friends. You give up liquor, what are you giving up? Wasted money, nothing except wasted money and wasted life, hurt wives and children. Give up illicit sex, friends, what are you giving up? Nothing except reproach and the legitimate pregnancies and the rise of the liver diseases, which is on the rise. Got to give it up, friends. But you say, Lord, it's hard. Sure, it's hard. But what does Jesus say? My grace is sufficient for thee. Amen. You know, friends, Jesus is saying, I'm not willing for you to do this on your own. I know you are weak. And all I ask you to do is to be willing. Then ask me, and I'll take care of it. Amen. I'm able to keep you from falling. I can handle your problem. I'm a greater Saviour than you are a sinner. But you say, oh Lord, I've been in the red for so long. Doesn't matter. I can save you to the utmost. Amen. Friends, the Bible says those who don't overcome, even though they belong to the church, are going to end up lost. And friends, this world we're told is going to be a seething, boiling inferno, a lake of fire and brimstone. And we don't want to be there. You can't be there. You're going to be scared because you don't want to be there, but you can't be scared, friends. Perfect love casts out all fear. Amen. We need to go through the fire to be with Jesus. Friends, all Jesus is asking for us today is to give our lives to Him. You know, friends, if there was no heaven and hell, the best life is a Christian life. Amen? Amen. It's a life of peace. It's a life of contentment. It's a life of cleanliness. It's a life of joy. Jesus is saying, give your heart to me before time is too late. And friends, we know that Jesus is coming soon. And we want to be the King. Jesus is constantly knocking at the door of our hearts. But soon that knock becomes weaker and weaker and weaker, and no longer continues to knock. And that is when we're headed down the path of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit is leading. Friends, so today, if you hear His voice, we know that saying. Choose you this day, who you will serve. If Baal be Baal, serve Baal. If God be God, serve God. Amen. Beloved, God needs men and women like Elijah, a voice crying in the wilderness, John the Baptist, to preach the message in its purest, simple form, to provoke the people, because you will be held accountable and responsible. We need to give the trumpet a certain sound from the world we are watching. And friends, I just hope and pray that as a speaker, as ministers, that they will heed the warning that they are first and foremost accountable for leading the flock, shepherds of the flock. The shots that the flock does not go astray. So friends, I'll leave these thoughts within your minds today. I hope that you are encouraged, no matter what your lot in life may be, what skeletons you may have in the cupboard, you know, whatever weaknesses that you have. Jesus loves you. That's the bottom line. Amen. And don't be afraid or offended by what people might think of you. Because at the end of the day, it's what Jesus thinks the most. Because He has the keys of life and salvation within His hands. Amen. In closing, we are going to sing right here. And then at the end of the message, I'd just like Brother Terry to close the prayer. Amen. Let's pray.
Kimami Babinak, Kimuni, Nanami Kalona, Nomni, Visikomai. Ni sa Talaman, Nomni, Tamate, Ditari, May Sikobi Kimami, Kabatan Ratikimani. Sa hindi mamiki ko na loto kardina kimami sa watutugin kimami kinanong loto sa sapa. Sa pamalu na kaya bisa utal ti umay na mami buki na mami bosa na mami sul pada sa hindi uni sambara ramai. Ini putungo uni sabi mga kina na sikile ko mikimianra. Mikimianra turang pada sa wala ka anong ni kesuma ni mikau kima. Nawale mo na ng mitmata, nawale mo na ng bula, nawale mo na ng matubalik ng isa na mora bikini. Ike pagsuki ke, kimamsa ker, nakakulilit kimami, nantina, kinabongga ni tuktuk kimamsa, bang nanunod kima, na similew ni kura. May baka lumalay na kimami ko, baka suta tayo kimami ko, baka mananuna may kimisabi sa kabibutin di. Wali mami nangali, ibas kay kimami nanong ni wakadin, maroy kimami ko, nabonong ni sinanilay, kay mas ko pa pinanakin na dami, Jisu ni Soro, kay Panginoon.